What is gratitude? What is gratitude? According to the Oxford English Languages Dictionary, it is the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for, and to return kindness. It's an interesting definition. How about if we go to the AI tools and work through it? What is gratitude? Gratitude is the appreciation of what is valuable and meaningful, which can lead to significant improvements in mental, emotional, physical well-being. Benefits include increased life satisfaction, resilience, and stress reduction. And it can be cultivated by practicing things like keeping a gratitude journal, writing thank you letters, or simply taking time to savor positive moments. Oh, it is November. It is a month where there's the combination of both reflection and gratitude that ultimately impact how I think about both wrapping up the year and looking back over the course of the year. Next week, we'll get into reflection. This week, it's about gratitude. I think this one is pretty interesting. This whole idea of appreciation of what is valuable and meaningful. Well, if you've been around long enough and been paying attention to some of the content that we put out here, value is, so valuable, so let's take valuable. What is it that's valuable? How do you define what's valuable? It's up to you. It's personal. What I value, this part of the word, what I value is very different than what you might value. I value freedom. I value time. I value flexibility. I value the ability to spend time with the people that are important to me. And those people that are important to me, I would call family, whether biological or not. Friends is a group of people that you ultimately cultivate over a lifetime. So if we look at valuable, and we understand that value is in the eye of the beholder, and we talk about gratitude in the context of the appreciation of what is valuable and meaningful, let's think about how that might apply to the work that you do. And yep, this is going to be a little bit more fluffy than most of the other stuff, and I'll still probably get pretty direct here. In order to give thanks, show gratitude for something, you have to understand not only what you value and what others value. So how do you determine what people value? We've talked about this before in the context of values and guiding principles and how those can ultimately impact the way that you operate your business. Let's talk about it in this context though. What do you value? So let's answer that question. What do you value? And as you're thinking through it today, watching this and going through the Learn, Think, Act, what is it that I value? What do I value? What do others value? What do the people that are important to me value? Let's say others value and then people important to me value. We're kind of running out of a little bit of space. But these are some simple questions that you can kind of go through. And here's the thing. You can ask those questions of yourself, go through the journal process and write those things down. But the piece that's really important is actually validating it with others, asking these questions, sitting down and having that conversation. Have that conversation with your spouse. It could be your husband, your wife. Have that conversation with your kids. What do you value? Why do you value it? How do you know that you're getting it? How do you know that you're getting a fair exchange value for that thing? Now let's apply it to work. Okay, so we've got value, very personal. We want to demonstrate gratitude in the context of work. Let's work through who are the people that we interact with inside the workplace. And we've done this before from a biz ops perspective. So we have ops as an example. We have product as an example. We have sales as an example. We have marketing. We might have success. We have all of these functional areas that interact with each other, connect with each other in one way, shape, or form. What do they value? How do they actually demonstrate value inside the organization? What are the things that are important to them? Here's the question I like to ask in this. Why do you do the work that you do? Why do you do the work that you do? If I understand that from the perspective of the person who is doing the work, then I can go a little bit deeper into understanding what are some of the things that they actually value. What are the things that they appreciate relative to the work that I do with them and the work that they do with others? I was never built to work in a hospital. That's not my calling. There are people who are built to work in that kind of environment. They get so much value out of the immediate gratification around being able to support and serve people in the moment. For me, I'm more focused on the long-term stuff, like what happens over a longer period of time. That long period of time is all relative, time's relative. As you think about this, and we go into this month, both looking at things in the context of gratitude and reflection, what is it that we appreciate about the people that we have an opportunity to work with? How do they, across each of these functional areas, ultimately impact our ability to be successful in our work? It's an African proverb, but if you want to go far, go together. If you want to go fast, go alone. Who are the people in here that we can go far with? What do we value about the relationship that we have? How are we communicating our gratitude back to them? Okay, like I said, this is a little bit of a softer, more fluffier kind of topic. But when you find space in your heart and in your work and in the thing that you're doing to be thankful for the value that's been exchanged, appreciate the value that others deliver, you can create a much deeper level of connection than just the surface level stuff. And that surface level stuff, I know we've talked about before, who will do what by when. That's surface level stuff. It ultimately gets us forward with execution. Why will they do that by when? And how will it impact you when you get it done? And how can you be more thankful for the people that you've got a chance to work with? Here are a couple of other questions just as we wrap things up on this Learn, Think, Act. What am I grateful for? What do I value? How have I communicated that to others? What are others grateful for? What do they value? How have they communicated that to me? Let's ask those questions. We ask better questions, we'll get better answers. You can find your catalyst at findmycatalyst.com. Give thanks. Thank you.